Do you understand your contract?
Hi, it's me again, Natalie from nataliejcoutureevents, and I am here, guys. So there's two things I really love to talk about. I really love to talk about a contract, right? I really love to talk about a contract because that is something that it's just not understood. I don't know why. And then the second thing that I love to talk about is the budget. Yes, contract budget. So I love to talk about even contracts, even budgets, and I want to talk about contracts today. So listen to this, right? I see a lot of times, a lot of clients will sign a contract. Okay. Well, this. I love all my clients. So guess what? This is none of my clients. None of my clients does this. Okay. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put this right there. None of my clients does this. So there be times people will sign a contract with a vendor, right? So like for my contract, depends on the service that I'm gonna be providing for you. You have to pay a balance at least 6 weeks before your event. Okay. Then there are some contracts where you can actually pay your balance the week before your event, right? And also, there is some contracts where you can pay a balance the day before the event. It just depends on what I'm providing for you, okay? So I said a lot of times people will sign contracts. It's saying there, it states in there, the payment terms would say 50% retainer fee, 20% retainer fee, XYZ, the balance is due at least 6 weeks with a date before your event. And a lot of people, okay, for some reason, a lot of people, they will wait until that date, right? And they ain't gonna say nothing, right? They ain't gonna say nothing, right? And then the vendor gonna send them a reminder. Hey, I'm not sure why you send them a reminder the day off. You should have sent them a reminder at least 3 days before the due date, so they know it's coming. Don't send them on a day. Sorry about that. So you don't want to send them a reminder on the day off and be like, hey, you're supposed to pay your balance by the end of business day is 5 p.m. You don't want to do people like that. You just want to send them a reminder. Send them a week. I do a week. Send them a week. Send them 3 days. Just remind them of something like that. But here will happen. And then that client will respond back and say, well, I don't want to pay until after my event, until the day off. Savannah, we got a problem, okay? So we got a problem. So first of all, you sign a contract, right? You're supposed to abide by what's the terms and conditions of that contract. And then now all of a sudden you just want to just go ahead and just do whatever you want to do and just think it's gonna be okay. All of a sudden you don't want to pay your invoice in full. You want to wait till after the events. Then you should go ahead and book with another vendor that would allow you to pay your invoice after the event. But everybody have different terms and conditions. Like me, you gotta pay before the event. Okay, I've been in this industry 25 years, and I'm gonna tell you, you are going to pay before your event. Okay, so we both can be happy. And then they want to change the date. So some vendors fold and be like, okay, with me in my contract, it tells you if you don't pay your balance by the due date, honey, I ain't coming, okay? And that deposit that you paid, you done lost that. It's in my contract, you know? Um, I had an incident one time and I had to refer them to the contract. Like, hey, look at the contract, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, do I ever had clients I'd be like, hey, I don't have the money to pay right now? Yes. And have I say like, cool, let's figure it out? Yes. Okay, because at the end of the day, I am human. Okay, and people do spend a lot of money on these parties. I'm gonna tell you now, people be spending a lot of money on these parties, so that's why I like to talk about a budget too. So I will work with people, you know what I'm saying? But you're not gonna just try to be like, no, I'm not gonna pay until after the event. No, honey, I'll work with you, but you still gotta pay before the event. I'm gonna tell you that. And so yeah, so please understand what you sign in. Understand your contract. Read, read, read. Understand what you say. If you don't understand, ask questions. Ask questions. That's why you need to hire a planner. Your planner is going to help you read and understand the contracts. I know a lot of planners don't do that, but I do because I'm like, hey, I do this every day. You don't do this every day, so you wouldn't understand the terms and the condition of some of these contracts. Like you'll be like, what's that? Like, So that's why I'm there to help you through the process. But anyway, understand your contract. Read before you sign. Because after you sign, that's it. All right. I will talk about a budget in another video sometime soon, I guess. Yes.